Gretchen Phillips. I am a parent of 2 kids in Wake County Public Schools. I taught in the public schools for 12 years, and my husband is a public school teacher here in Wake County as well. I am very involved and invested in this community and our families and our kids, which is why I'm concerned about the healthcare implications that this bill is putting forth. This is going to make an environment where our teachers feel like they are not allowed to refer students to affirming services because their parents do not approve. This is going to make it so that teachers feel pressure not to meet their students where their needs are, but to go by their parents' comfort level, even when their parents' comfort level is directly against the best interests of the mental health care of their children. That's my concern about this bill, is how it makes teachers and social workers and principals feel like they are not allowed to meet their kids where they need to be met. All of our children have a right to feel safe, secure, wanted, and included in our schools. And I'm concerned that this bill is going to push things in the opposite direction and is going to encourage our staff not to be able to talk openly with children about affirming counseling, about affirming care. They're going to be encouraged to not discuss these things just because some of the parents don't want to believe that their children deserve to be able to be true to their authentic selves. That is my concern with the healthcare portion of this bill.
Pronounced your name.
It's okay. My name is Ileana Santillan. I am the executive director of Pueblo, a longtime queer activist and a former teacher. And I'm a mother to a teenage girl, and I urge you to vote against this bill. My daughter came out of high school with anxiety. When she was in 3rd grade, her peers would ask her why she didn't have a dad, why her mom was with another woman. And I am proud of who I am today and the emotional damage that children will have when they're little and their peers are asking them why their families look different. The suicidal rates, the anxiety, and everything that we're seeing, if you really truly care about the health of children, invest in plans like the Leandro plan. Get more nurses, get more counselors in the school system. What you're doing right now is wrong, and it's going to damage families like mine. It's going to further exacerbate the anxiety of my child, and it is not what schools need at this time.
Hello, my name is Olivia Neal. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. While couched in terms of parents' rights, this bill is laden with discrimination against the LGBTQ community, and we are not fooled. I was a queer student in North Carolina public schools. Schools should be a safe place for students. If this bill were made law in my youth, I would have lost many of the outlets I had to explore and understand my identity without the interference of the government or the school system. Garnering information and support from peers and trusted adults can be a crucial part of the process of coming to terms with one's identity. Even as someone with parents who supported my queerness, I would have felt unsafe seeking help in my school, even mental health care, if I was constantly worried about being outed by my counselors before I was ready. Students should be focused on learning while they're in school. They should not be worried about whether they'll experience backlash or abuse when they get home. In some cases, school may be the only place where LGBTQ students can access supportive mental health care, but this bill would force them to run the risk of outing. The reality is that for LGBTQ students, parents do not always have their best interests at heart. According to the Trevor Project's 2022 survey data, 45% of LGBTQ youth seriously considered attempting suicide in the last year. That is nearly 1/2. That rate was significantly reduced for youth who found their school to be LGBTQ affirming. It's imperative that you understand that lives are on the line. This bill is not about securing rights for parents. It's about trying to eradicate LGBTQ identities from public life. If you want to know whether your children are questioning their gender or sexuality, I recommend you communicate your love and support for the LGBTQ community so that they know that you're a safe person to talk to.
Hi there, my name is Taylor Cordis, actually, sorry about the handwriting, and I have been both a student and an educator in North Carolina. Schools and healthcare providers should absolutely be a safe place for our LGBTQ youth. The policies that are in this legislation will deny that safety to our LGBTQ youth and families, and that is completely unfair. Unfortunately, there are many households where children are not safe coming out that forcibly making children come out in environments that are hostile will absolutely put their lives at risk. And I urge everyone to remember that children are not parents' property. They are their own people. They deserve to be protected as their own people. And if they are in an environment that is not safe to their authentic selves, then they need to be protected. As someone who is fully committed to the well-being of all children and wants to see all children grow up to be their full and authentic selves, we cannot tolerate this kind of legislation.